Ever wondered what it's like to live full-time on the road? Well, stick around. We've got the first of a three-part series entitled The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly coming up next. Hello everyone. So we've now been on the road for about 2 months. And we are currently at Natchez Trace State Park in Tennessee. And starting to slow down a little bit. We sold our house, closed on our house, 2 weeks ago now? Maybe? 2 weeks ago now. And we've been wanting to do kind of a video on like our first month. Now it's turned into the first 2 months of what life on the road has been for us. So we came up with a list of what we're calling the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today we're just going to cover the good. Or at least in this video, the good. We're gonna do it all today, film it all today, hopefully before we lose light. But I'm gonna split it up into 3 different videos. So, anyway, coming at you now, we got the good, the bad, and the ugly, starting with the good. Yep. So, one of the reasons we decided we wanted to do this full-time travel deal was we wanted some more freedom and flexibility in our schedule. Lauren and I were kind of swapping in and out of the house a little bit. Each kind of going our own ways. The kids were kind of scattered, and so we really just wanted to have time together as a family and have the freedom and flexibility to kind of go where we wanted to go. And so I would say one of my favorite things about this trip so far is just the freedom to do what we want to do, to go where we want to go, to see what we want to see. We've already been out west a little bit, which was fun. Although I think the kids have probably had their fills of canyons
They've requested
right now.
No more canyons.
So we are in the woods right now, and they are playing in some leaves, so they're enjoying that a lot more. But for me, definitely freedom to go where we want to go, kind of travel in our own time, and the flexibility to do that has been a huge plus for me.
I would say number 2 on the list is all the new relationships that we've made along the road. It's been really neat to meet people from all over the place. On our first little venture, we met a few couples that happened to see our full-time family stickers on our trailer, and we found out that they were full-time families, meaning they travel full-time on the road with their school-aged kid. And that was really neat because that gave us an instant connection, and we spent almost a week in Mesa Verde just hanging out with 2 families we met. The kids had a blast with each other, and we got to know the adults better, and still been able to keep in contact even while we've been on the road now. And we've had a chance, I mentioned full-time families, that's been a great place for us to meet people who travel full-time on the road, that have school-age kids. There are people traveling all over the place with families much larger than ours, and have been doing it for a lot longer than us. So it's been a great resource to learn new things, how to navigate this life, I guess, yeah. As well as just a great way to meet people. We did a rally down in Lake Hills, Texas, just outside of San Antonio, and spent a week with 72 families that travel full-time. There was over 170 kids. There was even some teens there.
Teens, yeah, that's been huge.
Caleb, which was awesome. And it was like an instant community. I think that's the nice thing about being on the road is the pretenses are kind of gone.
When you live in a box, there's not too much to be.
When everybody lives in a box, nobody's keeping up with the Joneses,
yeah,
you know, which makes it kind of refreshing, I think. I think we prefer not having, the typical Southern pretenses that we've hit living in Texas. It's kind of nice to be able to meet people and kind of get to know the real side of them right from the get-go, rather than just all the pleasantries that kind of we normally find in everyday society.
And you have so much in common already because everyone you meet in that kind of setting is traveling full time. Like, they understand what it's like to sell a house. They understand what it's like to the complexities of living in a small space. They understand that your friends need to connect, and so it's kind of like you're meeting a group of people that is like ready and willing to connect with you. And so that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And shout out to Doug Setzer. He pumped our poop tank for us.
Yes, and they'll even poop your pump. Pump your poo. So another big one for me has been just the time together as a family. You know, before it was a very normal thing for our kids to ask us which parent was going to be the parent that day. Lauren and I both have jobs where we're kind of swapping in and out of the home a lot. And so the kids just were in this routine of that we don't really do things together as a family. And so that really was something I was hoping to change with this. And it's been really, really nice to just, I don't get that question anymore. And to see us be able to hang out together as a family, to have the same experiences, that's been really cool too. We're not off having different experiences, like we're experiencing these places and these locations together, and it's shared memories. And so that is, for me, been just a huge blessing, and then just a big plus of kind of life together on the road.
Yeah, it has been really nice not to try to have to find ways to describe to each other an experience we've been through or something we saw, but to actually be able to say, remember when we saw this together or we did this together. And it is amazing. We live in a box, so you would think that the kids would be like want to give us space or want their own space, but it's really funny because you sit down and all of a sudden those kids are still sitting on you.
Yeah, they get even closer.
They get even closer. So, which we'll talk about a little bit in the bad.
The bad. Absolutely. That kind of leads us into just this, like, along with these new experiences, part of the reason we wanted to do this was the road schooling. And so if you're not familiar with what road schooling is, you know, instead of learning about, you know, reading about a national park in a book or watching a video on it, like you get to go to that park. You know, it's when you're learning different historical events, you go and you see them. And so it's a very much a, would you say, location-driven kind of learning, a very experiential kind of learning.
Very experiential. And as an OT, I love when you have an opportunity to kind of learn something using lots of different methods. You know, everybody has a different way of learning things, and some people learn great from a book, but many of us learn best by experiencing, by doing, creating, and being a part of something in a way that is tangible. And so I think that's been a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of this stuff that we've seen with the kids and that we hope to see with them, I don't really remember from school. So I myself am looking forward to what I get to learn as an adult as well. And then the kids, they've often said to us, they enjoy having less traditional schoolwork.
Less bookwork.
Less
right?
bookwork is what they mean. Yeah. We still have our math curriculums and we still have writing and such, but the experiences and talking to people who actually lived through different times in history or have different types of jobs and roles, and allowing other people who are passionate about what they do teach our kids.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is just
huge. It's huge.
A big, yeah.
Everybody loves to talk about what they're passionate about, and so it's been super neat to find people with different skill sets and passions, and just kind of be able to kind of like teach my kids. And that's been so good, because you don't have to be the expert in everything. And so you go to these different places and you're able to find people that are experts, and they do such a better job than you would be trying to fake it. So that's been awesome.
Yeah.
So another big one for me is just the things we've already gotten to see. And so, I mean, I've always wanted to kind of go out west. as a kid I didn't really get to do out west. And you know, our tow vehicle is a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and so any chance I get to take the thing off-road is a lot of fun for me. And so we were up in Moab and we were doing some trails up there. That was awesome. And you know, I mean, already in just these few short months, we're seeing animals that we haven't seen, or we're places that I've never been. And to be able to like go to the kids and say, like, do you realize this is the first time I've seen this too? And I haven't. And for them, you know, like they'll be like, yeah, when I was a kid, we did this, this, and this. But just like, I think they don't really understand the gravity of the opportunity that they have right now to see these things. So, but I just love that.
Yeah. Although off-roading is not number one on my list, I do really enjoy being able to get out into places that are kind of off the beaten path and just kind of see things from a different perspective, not just look at them in pictures, but actually experience them with the sounds, the smells, you know, and being very sensory. I just enjoy just being immersed in that. Like when we did the Schaefer Trail, kind of some switchbacks up from from Arches National Park into Canyonlands National Park. That was a really neat drive. That's where we saw the potash evaporation ponds, which I had no idea what that was. And so if you don't, look it up. But it was neat. And it was definitely a sight that I never would have seen before if we, you know, did traditional vacations or weekends away.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's 5 things so far that we would put under the good list. Okay. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for the bad and the ugly here to come in a little bit.
And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, click on the link below.
I always forget that. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. That helps us. And then there's a bell notification somewhere on your thing. Hit that and it'll ding you every time we put a video out. So thanks again and have a great day.